Hello, mouse fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the Delton S22 vertical wireless ergonomic mouse. And this is an interesting mouse. Number one, it's interesting because of the basic design being so different. The DPI button is up on top. And of course, we got the regular three things here. And we've got the two browser buttons right next to your thumb. And it's a little bit small for me, but this is how it would fit. So it's very easy, or it would be very easy, to use these two buttons in gaming if you can find software to control those buttons, because it can't be controlled through Windows, and it doesn't come with software to control those two buttons. So that's unfortunate. And the dongle is right there, and you do need some batteries. I strongly recommend getting some AA rechargeables, because why waste your money on something you're going to throw away in like 3 days? It's just stupid with the cost of batteries having become so insane. It's not worth it. Now, I find that this design makes my hand move backwards. Part of it is because it's just a little bit too small, and part of it is because of the shape. It's hard for me to get it so I'm comfortable and my hand will stay there. It just keeps on moving backwards over and over again, which, is kind of irritating. And part of the problem is what I've learned about vertical mouses, is that a highly vertical mouse like this one is not a good design, because just like having your arm flat like this, having it nearly 90 degrees from that is also not natural. Neither of them is natural. So if you hold out your arm and you hold it like this, you can feel that the bones are fairly straight. And there it is. And then at some point it becomes hard to follow them, but it does not work well. I found that my micro pack semi-vertical is much better at maintaining a good position for my hand, as opposed to all of the vertical ones that I've ever tried. I'm not saying vertical is bad. It's probably slightly better than with your hand like this. But the key to most ergonomic computer devices like keyboards and mouses is not the design as much as it is you use it correctly. So if you rest your hands on a wrist rest or on the front of the desk in front of your keyboard, and you are going like this to press keys, it's convenient, but it does damage. It does repetitive stress damage to your wrist, especially in the area of the ulnar. After decades of me working on keyboards that way, my ulnar, especially on this hand, is extremely sensitive to overuse. That can eventually lead to arthritis. And trust me, you don't want it, because arthritis feels like your two bones are grinding together and there's fire in there. It hurts. So it does have a good range of DPI, I will say that. And it has a little surprise. It comes with this shelf to support your lower hand. It is held in place with those neodymium magnets, and just like the side, it is ribbed for your comfort. That's a joke for you guys who know what I mean. Unfortunately, I found that I could not use this. Number one, the ribbing is hard, not soft, and that makes it unpleasant against the ulnar. Number two, you can't use it with a mouse pad like mine. So, for example, this mouse pad here that has a peak in the middle, it doesn't work well if I do like this. With a micro pack, yes, but with this, because of that shelf, it actually is worse. If I put it down flat on the surface on which my mouse pad rests, that is better. However, I still have the problem of my hand moving backwards, which happens on a lot of mouses. And I also find that my wrist, unless I am very deliberate about holding the mouse the right way and keeping my wrist just so, it still ends up happening. So the last problem that I've discovered with this, and I'm really sad because I really was excited about this mouse. It's not Delton's fault. There are other mouses out there that came before this one that had variations on this, on the back and on the side and so on and so forth. But what I discovered was I didn't have fine control over the mouse. Unless I can find a surface for the mouse to skate along, because these skates do such a great job on the hard surface of my mouse tray area, I find that I overshoot a lot. And that means I have to take my pinky and put it down here so that it's like a brake. It's like if you do sailing, there's the anchor, right? Well, there's also another thing, I think it's called a sea anchor, I've forgotten. But it's basically a big bag on a rope, and you throw it in the water to create drag behind you. It just slows you down so you're in less danger of say, running onto land at 1,000 miles an hour or whatever. That's a ridiculous number, obviously. So I ended up, I tried different things, and the only thing that worked was, number one, I had to hold on correctly. Number two, I had to keep my wrist correctly, and I just couldn't remember to do that. So I ended up taking this off, which was better. It was definitely better because, everything else aside, the ribbing is unpleasant. And I would have to cover the ribbing with some kind of a rubber padding. But that made a difference, but it just wasn't enough of a difference. And it didn't resolve the problem of the mouse skating too fast. So what I ended up having to do was I had to put it on the lower DPI settings. And then when I was doing that, if I was playing a video game and I got caught by an enemy nearby, I couldn't turn fast enough to attack them. I was like going like this, trying to get my character turned around to shoot them, by which time I was already dead. It's time sensitive when you're playing video games. So yeah, it's a really good concept. Bad design for this part. The shape needs work. It should be slanted more than it is. And, maybe if I can find like an old-fashioned mouse pad to put down on my mouse tray, that will resolve the problem of it skating too much. But I shouldn't have to do that. So make of it what you will. It's definitely interesting. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.